Hi, my name's Russ, and I want to talk about redefining what we think of as to-do software. To make my point, I want to talk about the difference between a word processor and a typewriter. They both solve the same problem, and yet a word processor does many things that a typewriter cannot. Imagine the difficulty of using a word processor for a prolonged period of time and then being forced to go back to the typewriter. And yet people use to-do software and then go back all the time. What things can to-do software do that solves the same problem but cannot be done in a simple bullet list, outline, or day planner? I would say first and foremost, it's the ability to suggest what to do and to really give you a list of things that can be done now to pick between. In order to do this, to-do software needs to be able to understand the relative importance of various to-dos. It needs to be able to know the urgency of different items. And it needs to know your mode or your mood. For example, on the Android phone, you can select whether you're working or you're doing personal time or you're at a theater. You can state your mode. These things should be taken into account. I should be able to state that I'm working or that I'm relaxing or that I'm eating. And when I'm working, I should be able to say on whether I'm doing core work or whether I'm trying to tie up loose ends. To help you pick what to do, the software should know your routine. It should be able to help me mix in my projects among my routine and really find balance on how to get things done. I should be able to give guidance for the moment and say, I'm up against a tight deadline. I really just need to get the core work done. Or I need to be very responsive to others right now. So as new items come in, please alert me of these interruptions. To-do software should be about more than just productivity. It should also support the concept of relaxing. As I go through my day, rather than getting randomized, I should be able to capture things that I find are interesting, various news articles or videos. And then when I'm ready to take a break, have the to-do software resurface those things to me. This is important so to-do software can be in my habit loop. Rather than going straight to social media, I can go to the to-do app. It can surface things, and it can also suggest to go to social media or other things so that I still can maintain that connection. But first, I'm able to look and say, yeah, here's a book that I want to read, or a video I want to watch, or a show I want to watch, so that I'm more in control. It also makes a lot of sense for to-do software to support groceries, because the expiration date on groceries establishes a deadline for when that item needs to be used. And meals have dependencies on multiple items. And I'm routinely eating the same things over and over again. To-do lists today are generally about storing and retrieving your to-do items. You put a bunch of to-dos into various different lists, and then you can open up the software, select from these lists, and look at your to-dos. This kind of user interface poses mental health challenges. Do you really want to be reminded of everything that you have not yet done and make that very convenient and easy to look at over and over again and really encourage it? It can be depressing and overwhelming. The other challenge is when you're looking at each to-do, you can think of it as a different location or place that I need to travel in my mind. They each have a different next step. They each have different things to keep track of. Imagine looking from one item to the next and physically moving from place to place to place. It can be very mentally exhausting. Showing the entire list has other scalability challenges as well. A better user interface is one that's really focused around the next step. The main UI should be giving you a series of next steps that you can take to advance your various to-dos. That should be the thing that is front and center. That achieves better mental health. When you do this, then if the next step is to wait for something, then you want to be able to state that and have the item go away, which means that when the item is ready to resume, you want it to automatically come back. If I'm waiting for an email response, I should be able to state it. And when I get an email response, the item should show back up on my list. Likewise, if I'm a computer programmer and I'm waiting for some code to finish compiling, or if I'm doing video production and I'm waiting for a video to render, I should be able to state that I'm waiting on the computer. And then when the computer's usage dies down, have the to-do item come back. And if no automation exists, I should be able to just state that I'm waiting for a certain period of time or until an exact date and time, and then have the item come back then for me to check on things. To-do software should help you save and resume what it is that you're working on. First is to get the user to define what the next step is before they stop the work, and any other notes or information. This can then be shown to them when they're resuming the work. But software can help in other ways as well. Here is some UI that the Windows operating system has. You click on a button and you're given these various virtual desktops. One thing that you could do is create a new virtual desktop for each work, and then work on everything in that desktop. And when it comes time to save and resume, that desktop could all be saved away, hibernated or slept, and then restored when I'm ready to resume the work. Maybe this could even be made to work so that I can resume the work onto a different computer than the one I was working on. To make this scenario work, what you need to be able to do is capture what it is that you need in order to do that to-do item. For example, to be able to save away your files and your directories, or specific emails and IM messages, or a certain GitHub branch, or section of a OneNote file. All of these things should be able to be captured so that they're part of the to-do item. And when you do this, you unlock other useful functionality as well. For example, I can get it so programs filter to just that task. Think about how randomizing it is to use an email program and see all of these emails that are not relevant to what it is that you're working on. Imagine being able to check your email and only see what has been captured so that you're not randomized and you can stay on track. To-do items should also be tied back to the purpose or motivational reason for doing the work, so that as I'm working on things, I should be able to keep the end in mind and self-correct and make adjustments to exactly what it is that I'm doing because I am reminded of the purpose of the work. To-do software should also help prevent surprises by helping me have awareness of what is upcoming and what is going on. Making it easy to see your scheduled meetings is something that we have today. But what about also being able to see all of the items that I'm waiting for, the emails that I want to deal with as soon as I get a response, and other pending items that I want to return to when possible, and also show my routine so I can see everything all together. But I need some way to have awareness of new things that come up. I believe that notifications should be going through my work items and my motivations, so I can see them in context of the different items that I'm working on, or motivations and priorities that I have. To-do software should also help me remember what it is that I did. And being able to remember my accomplishments is important, but that's kind of the go-to thing. To really help people feel satisfaction and improve, there also needs to be a focus on effort. I should be able to recall and summarize my effort. I can remember what took so long, feel good about it, and reflect and improve. And along with this should be a reward system. Rewards should have simple this for that and more complicated gamification and social scenarios. For example, if I like going on a bike ride, I should be able to give myself a bike ride as a reward for writing my review. I should also be able to have further gamification of being able to level up and progress as I continuously make effort towards a task. And think about the Fitbit scenario and how motivating it is for people to be able to be part of a community and people to be able to compare their progress with their friends. This would be a generalization of that concept onto general to-dos rather than just exercise. Imagine that I have type 1 diabetes, and so every few days I need to change my infusion site. I can have a reward system so that after I do this a few times, I get to level 2, and then more times I get to level 3, and at each of these levels, I give myself a reward. But I'm also able to be part of a community with my friends that also have type 1 diabetes, so that we can share our progress, help each other stay on track, and be more social. At the beginning of this video, I talked about typewriters and word processors. I believe that it is possible to have to-do software that makes everything that came before seem outdated, similar to the typewriter. I believe if to-do software worked in this way, and it did it well, with a wonderful user interface, that it would be hard to imagine going back to what came before. I have autism and I'm neurodiverse, and these features would be extremely useful for me. I'm making this YouTube video in part because I want to bring this to pass and encourage this to happen. To review, to-do software should be judged by its ability to help you pick what to do, by its ability to help you transition from one task to the next with a next step mentality, by its ability to help you save and resume and recall what it is that you're working on, by its ability to help keep you focused and on track, by its ability to help you avoid surprises and be aware of what is upcoming and what is going on, by its ability to help you have work-life balance and have balance between all the various areas of your life, by its ability to help you recall what was done, both effort and accomplishments, and by its ability to help you celebrate your effort, feel rewarded, learn, and improve. I invite you to share this video with others and give it a like to help spread the message. If you're interested in more videos, feel free to subscribe. And I also have a GitHub project where I'm working on trying to implement these ideas. It's currently being done as a hobby project, so the vision is much greater than what I'm capable of doing part-time on the side, but a link is in the description if you want to check it out. Thank you.